Courage to tell the truth. I don't always tell the truth, strange to some, as I speak often. At times, it's because I'm listening. Sometimes, it's a withholding pattern of old. From fear, from thinking differently. Other times, I am stopped, seized by an internal habit of shame. I've done something or said something wrong. How curious a phenomenon, yet now I know this, have for a long time. I watch myself. This is familiar. Let's take a look. A look that may last for weeks, playing with words and feelings as I do. Searching self, not in shame, though blame may enter. My inquiry is more kind these days. Self-forgiveness arrives, brings a smile to my heart. Still, I do not always say what my truth might be.
The origin story. I have to say, when I wrote this, it felt like I was writing all the poetry before this to reach this point, to be able to write this poem. The origin story. So you wouldn't tell that you thought you were a mother when you were 3 years old, that you lived in the Germantown projects and had a baby carriage for your baby doll. And you wrote 100 poems before you wrote this one, like a veteran who doesn't talk about the war. You were the mother in the back seat of the car that drove away, and you were the baby forgotten in the cabin on the Cape, the one that got left with a family friend, and at the Chelsea Naval Hospital with third-degree burns. And where was your comfort when your baby was left, and when you were the baby? Too young to know that the body holds its wordless wounds, carries them for a lifetime. The doll was packed up and mailed to your house, but you didn't touch her and didn't want her. Later in school, you learned about war. It was taught like math or spelling, as if it was perfectly natural. You had to memorize the dates of wars that shouldn't have happened, and you carried the weight of generational trauma. And when asked what superpower you would want if you had one, to be invisible was your answer. You forgot baby dolls and moved on to Barbies. You didn't talk to strangers or wait for heroes. You marched for peace and cherished children. You wrote your way through an archaeological dig that led to the unearthing of the carriage left empty.